Welcome back to Her Story, Black History Month brought to you by Salty Vixen. This February, we're celebrating the fierce, the forgotten, and the fearless women who built foundations, shattered barriers, and carried the torch when no one else would. Today, we turn the spotlight on a woman whose voice has echoed across stages, screens, and living rooms for decades. She's a comedian who made us laugh until our sides hurt, an actress who brought depth and heart to roles that changed how we see black women in Hollywood, and a trailblazer who became the first black woman to achieve EGOT status, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. From the projects of New York City to the moderator's chair on The View, her journey is one of raw resilience, unapologetic authenticity, and unbreakable spirit. I'm talking, of course, about Whoopi Goldberg. Born Karin Elaine Johnson on November 13, 1955, in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan, Whoopi grew up in the Chelsea-Elliot houses, a public housing project where survival often meant scraping by day to day. Her mother, Emma Johnson, a nurse, teacher, and housekeeper, raised her and her older brother Clyde as a single parent after their father, a Baptist clergyman, left the family early on. Money was tight. Opportunities felt scarce. And young Karin faced challenges that would have broken many. Undiagnosed dyslexia that made school a nightmare, leading her to drop out of high school around age 17. She wasn't slow or unteachable, as some labelled her back then. She was brilliant in ways the system couldn't measure. Her mind worked differently, and that difference fueled her imagination, her mimicry, her ability to step into characters and make them breathe. But before the spotlight, life was hard. At 18, she became a single mother herself, giving birth to her daughter Alexandria in 1974. She navigated addiction, periods of homelessness, welfare, and odd jobs, from bank teller to mortuary cosmetologist, to keep her family afloat. Yet even in those dark times, Whoopi found humor and humanity. She moved to California in the 1970s, joined theater troupes like the Blake Street Hawkeyes in Berkeley, and honed her craft. She performed improv, taught acting, one of her students was Courtney Love, and began creating the monologues that would become her signature. In 1983, she debuted The Spook Show, a one-woman performance blending comedy, satire, and drama, characters like a little girl on drugs, a junkie, and her iconic mom's Mabley impression. It was raw, real, and revolutionary. The show caught the eye of director Mike Nichols, who brought it to Broadway as simply Whoopi Goldberg in 1984. The run was a hit, and an HBO special captured it, earning her a Grammy for Best Comedy Album in 1985, the first for a black female comedian. That momentum carried her to Hollywood. Steven Spielberg saw her perform and cast her as Sally in The Color Purple, 1985. Her film debut earned a Golden Globe win and an Oscar nomination for Best Actress, the first black woman in decades to be nominated in that category. From there the roles poured in: Jumpin' Jack Flash, Burglar, Clara's Heart. But it was 1990's Ghost that made her a household name. Playing the eccentric psychic Oda Mee Brown, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, the second black woman ever to do so, 50 years after Hattie McDaniel. She became the highest-paid actress of the early 90s, starring in blockbusters like Sister Act 1992, which grossed hundreds of millions worldwide, and its sequel. Whoopi didn't just act, she produced, hosted, and innovated. She hosted the Oscars 4 times, the first black woman to solo host, starred as Guinan on Star Trek, The Next Generation, voiced characters in The Lion King, and even produced Broadway hits like Thoroughly Modern Millie, which earned her a Tony. In 2002 she completed her EGOT, the rarest honor in entertainment, and she was the first black woman to achieve it. Since 2007, she's been the moderator of The View, bringing her no-holds-barred style to daytime TV. She's won multiple daytime Emmys for the show, and her commentary, whether on politics, culture, or current events, has sparked conversations nationwide. Even in 2026, she's still there, addressing headlines head-on, like clarifying her name's mention in Jeffrey Epstein-related files, purely unrelated charity flight requests. No friendship, no wrongdoing, just transparency. Beyond the awards, Whoopi's activism runs deep. She's advocated for women's rights, LGBTQ+ equality, receiving GLAAD's Vanguard Award, AIDS awareness, civil rights, and more. She's been a UN Goodwill Ambassador, founded initiatives for menstrual relief products, and co-founded an all-women's sports network. She's spoken openly about her past: abortion at 14 using a coat hanger, drug use, grief over losing her mother in 2010 and brother in 2015, turning pain into purpose. Whoopi has never shied from controversy or conformity. She's married 3 times but says she's not meant for marriage. She's defended friends in tough moments like Ted Danson's blackface roast in the 90s. She's lived with dyslexia, a fear of flying from witnessing a plane crash and the weight of being a trailblazer. Yet she remains unfiltered, wise, and wickedly funny. In her 2024 memoir Bits and Pieces, My Mother, My Brother and Me, she reflects on family, loss, and the music that filled her childhood home. She's still working, filming in an Italian soap opera in late 2025, producing, speaking, and moderating. At 70 in 2026, she's proof that reinvention never stops. Whoopi Goldberg's story reminds us, greatness isn't born in comfort. It rises from the projects, from struggle, from saying fuck it to the doubters and daring to be exactly who you are. She once said something that sticks with me. The people who said you couldn't, you shouldn't, you won't, and you did, that's her story. Thank you for joining us on this Black History Month journey. If Whoopi's resilience moved you, share this episode, leave a review, and subscribe for more stories of fierce women who changed the world. Until next time, keep carrying the torch. This is her story, brought to you by Salty Vixen.